Now, some of the paintings you see here are all drawn by children from 7 to 15 years of age, and they all learned drawing in just 10 days. Their artwork was part of the Nightingale Lightning, which just concluded its first phase in December. The project doesn't just focus on drawing skills, but instead uses drawing as a key to discovering the world of children. We'll get a chance to learn more about this interesting project and its founder, Dr. Thắng, in this week's edition of On the Mic.
Đây là một vùng băng giá, tự nhiên ở một chỗ lại có một hố lửa.
Con đang định vẽ cái này, tự nhiên nó thành hình tròn.
Con nghĩ là ai cũng có một tuổi thơ bên những khoảnh khắc mà cỏ xanh mướt, với những bông hoa, rồi những cánh diều bay, khác xa với những ồn ào náo nhiệt của thành phố.
From such different idealistic ideas, 16 children have produced over 100 impressive work of art in 10 days.
Mà mới đến lớp thì con nghĩ là học vẽ cũng không vui lắm, nhưng mà học xong rồi con thấy rất là vui.
Thầy chỉ bảo con vẽ cả tình, thầy nhìn thầy sẽ biết là thầy định hướng cho bọn con ạ.
And for the one who can make drawing become fun for children is Dr. Trịnh Thắng, founder of the Nightingale Lightning Project. First of all, thank you, Dr. Trịnh Thắng, for joining this week's edition of On the Mic. Can you share with us your latest art project called Nightingale Lightning? Why does it have such a special name?
Nightingale is referred to children, naive, novice, and plain. I want to introduce the two values to children. One, naive, and second, sudden, explosive of wisdom. And I hope that with the two values, the children will go on their own track. I just temporarily call project, but it's something like a platform, like reminder for children on the way to their destination.
And why do you focus mainly on children?
I've been providing training for different groups of audience, including children and adults, different sectors of society. But then children, they are actually like white paper, and with the white paper or plain paper, you can draw whatever with the sharp patterns. If you work with something it's already in bracket, contaminated with a lot of ideas and ideologies and philosophies, then it's difficult to get them out, to make plain background for something that you want to add in. So just think of the children that way.
With brushes and paints, these children are ready to color their inner worlds. Some like to cover their photos with colorful lines. Some want to paint sophisticated pictures in detail. Some use the paint in a very different way altogether. And to Dr. Trịnh Thắng, all these pictures are masterpieces presenting the unique view of each child. According to him, drawing is not just a form of art, it is also a way to show yourself to the world. So there are no bad pictures. The important thing is to encourage young people to confidently express their thinking. You don't focus too much on drawing techniques. Is it too hard for children who don't know much about drawing, especially with acrylic colors?
Children are open and they want to express with action more than verbal language. And if they are forced to draw with some techniques or some formulas, they would be less inspired. For example, when I ask them to paint a vase of flowers, I put the vase of flowers in front of them, leave them 1 to several minutes to observe the flowers, and they will come to another context to represent again the flowers. And because they bring the flowers from this context in their mind to another context to draw, so they forget most of what they see. They will reflect, try to express and interpret in whatever I call it, the inner process. One vase of flowers, but 10 students will present in 10 different ways. Very impressive. Abstract.
So your project has gone through 3 sessions, each session lasting 10 days. And there's a limitation. Each child can only attend 1 session. And why is it this limitation?
I was not trained as a painter. I trained them how to interpret and perceive the world and transfer or transform their perception into painting. What I want them to know within the 10 session as something like the added value, something like for them to stop a little bit, thinking, perceive, and interpreting. Then with that purpose, I don't want longer. I don't need to have to make that course longer. As a matter of fact, after the 10 sections, the children has their own ability to explore and to go further. And after the 10 sessions, if they have any problems, any questions or concerns, they just call or come to meet me a little bit in person. And I help them out of the situation, and that's better. They often come here with their something they really want to know more about. They're already very ready for that, open-minded, and welcome all ideas and advice from me.
Thắng graduated as a doctor from North Carolina University in the US. He has worked as a researcher for international organizations for many years. Passionate about art, he composes music, writes short stories and poems, and practices drawing and martial arts. Thắng life is a mixture of different interests, but according to him, all these share his goal in life, to keep himself and others healthy. Do you plan to expand your project to other groups other than children?
Children, as I told you, is a plain paper, and they are open to welcome all what they can learn. But for other groups of people, precisely adults, I don't think I could help, because they have learned enough. I'm not ready to break the frozen block and introduce something new. It would take a long time. It would make me make a lot of effort, and that against my rule of life, making no effort.
Again, thank you so much for joining our show, and we wish you the best of luck in your future projects of developing children's ability.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.